Hi, my name is Trevor Mauch. I'm an entrepreneur, CEO, father of 3 young kids, husband of a beautiful wife, and I live in a small town in Oregon called Roseburg, running one of the fastest growing companies in America, a software company called Carrot. And we're having a lot of fun, but also a lot of challenges along the ways we grow this company. And that's the thing that really pumps me up is business isn't easy, life isn't easy. There's times when it can be easy, but the challenge is the part that really brings out the good parts. The challenge is the part that really highlights and accentuates when things are great.
My name's Cody Kellum. I'm a co-founder of Born and Raised Outdoors. We are a digital media company. Basically, we have a YouTube channel. We have fun, we document it, we share it. That's pretty much the gist of it. Our whole why when we sat down was to entertain, educate, inspire. Hunting and fishing and being in the outdoors has been like part of our family and our landscape. As we go on these adventures, it's about the adventure and not so much about the hunt or the kill or the harvest or anything like that. And sharing campfires, if you go back in the history of man and telling stories around campfires and all that, we're just in the digital space now.
So my name's Seth Buechley. I am an entrepreneur by DNA and by training. What I really love though is I love connecting high potential people with the ideas, the resources, and the people they need to reach their potential. That's what really fires me up. I'm a lifelong learner, and so I'm always investing in relationships and coaches and pursuing ideas to help me grow and to get better. And I screw up often, but it's often during those mistakes when everything comes into focus and you realize where the learning happens. And if you can grab a hold of those lessons and apply them, those are some of the best learnings you're ever gonna find.
Man, a lot of entrepreneurs say that they've been entrepreneurs their whole life. They talk about the lemonade stand, they talk about selling things when they were a kid, pitching candy to kids in their class. I was never that guy. Even in high school, business wasn't anywhere on my radar. I wanted to be a doctor, and then that dream kind of fizzled away as I was in my senior year in high school. But it wasn't until about my junior year in college when I realized, I said, I don't know what I want to do for a career, but I do know I want to kind of chart my own path with at least a part of my life. And I bought my first rental property. It was a 4-unit property there in Klamath Falls, Oregon, where I went to college. I still own that property today. And I found a really creative way to buy it. Didn't have any money, so I found a creative way to buy it. After that, I was kind of hooked on real estate. But then I graduated college with a marketing and entrepreneurship degree, having no clue about real marketing and not being an entrepreneur yet. And we moved up to Portland. And that next year and a half, is when I fully convicted myself that I was never gonna have a job. And it was toward the end of that first year out of college that I finally started to pick up some momentum as an entrepreneur. I finally started to figure out that entrepreneurship and growing your business wasn't about getting, it was about giving. And as soon as I started giving more to other people without asking for anything in return, that's when I got bit by the entrepreneurial bug big time. I said, man, I can make an impact, not just money, but I can make an impact for other people. And I've never had a job since. So it's gonna be quite a journey. It's gonna be pretty wild. It's gonna be a lot of fun. There's gonna be some heartache. There's gonna be some wins, hopefully. But over the course of this time, there's gonna be some really cool things we're going after. And hopefully we have a lot more successes than failures. But you're gonna be following along this journey as I seek out mentors and work to be a better leader for our team members, as I really find, how do I find amazing people to join the Carrot team in the Carrot cause so we can go out there and really take over more of the market. So there's gonna be a lot of cool things happening. On the behind the scenes, you're gonna see us grow the team, figure out our systems and processes and how to really scale up the team members and in the work that we do. You're also gonna see us rebuilding our growth team, our marketing team. And you're gonna be able to see all the things we're doing behind the scenes as much as we can share to show you what we're doing on the marketing side, because that's something we're really good at. It's something I'm passionate about, is marketing strategy. And you're gonna see while we're learning from mentors and applying those things in our own business so you can do the same.
So you approved and signed off on order.
Oh.
You know, the weirdest thing is like being an entrepreneur, it's always a ride. You just never know. You want to say that you're like on track on what you are doing, but sometimes like you just never know what kind of unexpected turn the train's going to make. And so like we started this, like I said, 2007. We literally got a video camera from Trevor, who bought it with his dental school loan money, like his student loan money to buy a camera to get going. And as we started sharing this, you know, people kind of glommed onto something locally here, and then it turned regionally. And then it was we did a TV show in 2012, 2013, and that was really like the turning point where it almost ended. Basically, we did a year of TV, and it was a horrible experience for the business side, and we just kind of took a step back, sat back for like 18 months, kind of put everything on pause. And so we met some friends that had a YouTube channel, and it literally was like this aha moment when we're sitting on the riverbank stealing fish, and it's like, all right, we got to do this. Duck season is come and gone, but this year was different. We started something new, and it all seemed to come together. It's called Born and Raised Outdoors. So we made a plan in November of 2016, and that plan was to go on a 5-state, 50-day journey. We went and met with some companies in early January of 2017, had this whole pitch put together, this deck, and every single one of them said yes, like we want to be a part of this. So we told this story of basically we will be the hub of it, but we're going to bring in all these other people throughout this whole journey. We didn't know if we were going to have 5 people, 500 or 5,000 people when we're talking into the camera vlogging about this. And it was pretty nerve-wracking. I mean, and we just like, you know what, it is what it is. It's an adventure, let's roll with it. When it all said and done, we get through October, we're looking at the bank account, and like we were at our budget. Literally, we had about 4 weeks to float on capital, and we had the goal of launching this daily video on November 1st. And it wasn't until I sat down in our mastermind here in the loft, Trevor, you know, we were like, no holds barred, here we're at. We've got all this content, we're editing, but we don't know how we're gonna make the next rent check, basically. And Trevor had this idea. We put to use all these old DVDs that we were sitting on as an offer, and then that is really, like in the span of 60 days, we did over 6 figures, and we never thought we were gonna make, 10 grand off of it. So it was just a crazy turn of emotions to now, fast forward, like we're hiring our first employee, and like life is great. We've had such huge growth in a short amount of time. There's a little bit of worry of like, does it continue at this growth? What does it look like? Is it going to plateau? What else can we provide them with value that in turn also provides revenue for us? And then bringing on a new employee, like for us, it's always been us. We've hired one cameraman in the past. It was an epic failure, like hated it. That person's going to be like family to us, and they're going to be really tight and close in the business. But then we're also like in that same realm of, if it's not, we've got to fire and find the right person. So that over the next 6 months, that's going to be the struggle as we roll in, and we're doing Land of the Free 2.0 that next, so we're going to do the 5-state 50-day gig again this fall, and just making sure we have all of our ducats in a row this time, because it was pretty much shoot from the hip last year.
So several years ago, I had a chance to grow a business in the telecommunications space, and we eventually came to the conclusion that we needed some advice. And so we hired a consulting firm, and that year we did about $1 million of revenue. Well, the next year we did close to 5, and the year after that we went to 15, and then 35, and then pretty close to 60. And so it was during this kind of run-up that we walked with this consulting firm, and eventually we sold the business. And so as I was thinking about what I wanted to do next, I actually had an opportunity to buy that consulting firm. And it's been an incredible journey. It was the first time I'd ever bought an existing company. in a field that I didn't come from. I came from telecommunications as an executive, and I bought a consulting firm. It's been a journey, and I'm starting to get clear on some strategic things, and I'm getting great leaders around us, and so I'm really excited about that because now I got more voices in this conversation. And so now that we've got a clearer vision, it's that, all right, can I be that leader of leaders in this sector? And so, time will tell. What I'm in this mode now of really taking something that existed and refining it and putting my print on it, but also working in a new industry where I've got to figure out what the right methodologies are. And so that's been an interesting twist for me. But it's also because I have an office in New York City and one in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, and then I'm here in Roseburg, Oregon, and I've got a guy in Portland. And so not only am I trying to figure out, how to refine and clarify and communicate what it is our service offering is, but now I'm working, kind of bi-coastal with a new team that's kind of getting to know each other. And, as I, as a leader, bring my imprint on what we do in a way that also honors what's there and the really smart and talented people and the clients that we already have, balancing all that and getting to the point where it's all lined up and going the same direction, that's a big deal for us.
So one thing I'm really excited about with this series is attracting people just like you, people who want to be an entrepreneur or are in your early phases of starting a business. And you see the dream out there, you see the impact you can make, you see the different life you can create for yourself and your family and those around you. But maybe you don't know what's ahead of you. And that's the cool thing about this series is you get to see 3 different perspectives on people that are likely a little bit ahead of you in different parts of things. And some of the first things you should really focus on as you're starting that journey yourself, that first 6 months, are really, you gotta be consistent but patient. You have to be crazy consistent each and every day, applying and executing. So as you're going through and seeing what we're doing, you're gonna see a lot of consistency in what we're doing in our businesses now. But it didn't start that way, so you have to be insanely consistent. The next thing is, like I said, you have to be patient. Okay, entrepreneurship is a patience game. You see a lot of these unicorn stories on the news where this company went from 0 to $1 billion in XYZ. There was a ton of patience behind the scenes that you didn't see. We always see the glorified version of the entrepreneur. You see the glorified version of the celebrity, whatever it is. But what we don't see is the behind the scenes work, the dedication, the late nights, the consistency, the failures over and over again, where they got back up, they got on the horse, and they kept going when other people would give up. The next thing is you gotta surround yourself with people. Okay, that was a big mistake I made in my first several years, was I socked away and hold away myself and thought if I can just put my head down by myself for this year, this 2-3 years, I'm gonna be set. You can do it that way, but it's not as fun and you're not gonna do it as fast. So find other mentors around you. And that's exactly what we've done here at theLoft. That's exactly what you're gonna see. We are mentors for each other. And we wanna see the same thing for you. Hopefully we can be kind of digital mentors for you over this series. But you need to surround yourself with people. Go get into an Entrepreneur Workspace. Go find an entrepreneur group. Go find a meetup. Go start a meetup if you don't have one. That's what we had to do. There was nothing like that here in Roseburg. We started it because we knew that we wanted it. The very, very last thing that I would really focus on here is have fun with it. Okay, because entrepreneurship can be really hard. It's not easy when you see different stories on what we're doing, right? We have thousands of customers, millions of dollars in revenue, millions in profits, amazing fun. We have all these fun dolls everywhere, right? That didn't start in day one. Okay, we had to build that. But what we did at the start was we had fun every single day. We made little wins fun. We'd go ring the victory bell anytime we got that first sale or the first win. And you have to celebrate those wins, even if it's a little thing. Take yourself out to lunch or to dinner or whatever it is. Celebrate the wins, have fun, be patient, consistent, persistent, and make sure you're providing value.